The long wait is over. The Canadian Rally Championship resumes with the teams gathered from east and west, all under some of the most dramatic scenery Canada has to offer, as round 2 returns to the Columbia Valley. But don't be fooled. There are no easy lines on these ridge roads, and the stakes are as high as the peaks.
Wow, did we get lucky on that? Okay, holy balls.
Are you ready to take it all the way to the top? The Rocky Mountain Rally starts now. Welcome to the Columbia Valley of British Columbia, home of fantastic mountain vistas and round 2 of the Canadian Rally Championship, the Rocky Mountain Rally.
It's the 50th year for Rocky Mountain Rally. We started in '73. Fantastic to make that milestone. Coming back to Invermere after a few years away is also fantastic. The community loves us. The roads are great, and the competitors seem to be enjoying it.
The roads have changed so much in the last couple of years because we haven't run here. So play it by ear, go stage by stage, and try and stay on the road.
We're excited that all the Quebec guys were able to come out, or at least a few of them anyway. So it's going to be some stiff competition out there. I understand that I have one job to do today, and that's don't be stupid. And so I keep telling myself, don't be stupid, don't be stupid, don't be stupid, don't be stupid. And it should be fine.
This year will be a lot different than last year. We were aiming the overall win. Now we got this little front-wheel drive car from Jason Bailey. You just to get used to front-wheel drive, have fun, enjoy, and then practice for Bay. But with wood, greenhouse, they are really, really quick.
Recce went well, but the roads are really bumpy, lots of rocks sticking up, and I think there's going to be a lot of attrition this weekend. As for the competition, greenhouse is always fast. The LeBlancs have moved into two-wheel drive. They should be quick.
Yeah, no, I know how good the competition's going to be here, and they know how good I am too. So I certainly think the battle to watch is going to be the Dodge versus the Datsun, me versus Nick Wood. That's the one everyone's here to watch.
28 teams have signed up to challenge the Ridge Roads this weekend. They will face 170 competitive kilometers over 12 special stages, and the combination of uphill and downhill runs will test the car's endurance and the driver's bravery. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Fresh off their first national win at Rally Persneige, Alexander Moreau and Ian Guite have traveled west with the goal of building a lead in the championship. They set a fast pace out of the gate on the first loop of stages near Radium. They win stage 2 outright, but a decision to change a malfunctioning fuel pump at the refueling stop will cost them over 12 minutes in penalties, knocking them out of contention. They are just the first of the Quebec teams to suffer in the first loop of stages. Marc-André Brizois and Marie-France Desmarais-Trepanier are representing Test Racing this weekend and are hoping for better than the 5th place they earned at Rally Persneige. But their car also suffers a fuel pump issue, ending their hopes on stage 2.
Droite 5 qui permet en 3. C'est quoi qui se passe?
Pas de gaz, je sais pas, là, il veut pas. Fuel pump, c'est où? Fuel pump. Power steering, fuel pump.
With Moreau knocked out of podium contention, Jean-Sébastien Besner and Yvan Joyal now have the chance to take the lead in the championship points race. But luck isn't finished being cruel to the Quebec contingent. After a string of solid finishes, the engine blows in Besner's car on stage 3, and they are out of the rally. With most of the Eastern teams decimated, the door is open for the local experts to shine.
Press long, don't, and cut left 4 plus, into right 3 minus.
Boris Djordjevic is on top form today, quickly challenging for stage wins. But then the dust forces him and co-driver John Hall to dial down the speed.
Left 4 plus long, nips, and right 4 cut. Come on. I can't see.
The organizers will extend the window between cars by an additional minute to give the dust a chance to clear, but Djordjevic is now facing an uphill battle in more ways than one.
I can't see the road at all. Go.
Jason Bailey and Shane Peterson waste no time attacking the ridge roads, winning stage 1 outright. Initially on pace to repeat on stage 2, the duo get a wake-up call on a deceptively challenging sector.
Right forward to 40. Left 4.
you do it. It's too fast to do it. Come on.
There are few minor errors to be had on these mountain roads, and Bailey is lucky that the only consequences are a flat tire and some lost time. Although Moreau wins 3 out of 4 stages in the loop, his penalty makes that moot, and a string of second fastest stage times bumps Tanvir and Nyla Dean up into the lead of the rally. This brother-sister duo won the Rocky Mountain Rally last year, and know that the key to repeating their performance will be to end the first day with the lead, putting them first on the road and giving them clear air for tomorrow. The 2021 champions, the LeBlanc brothers, are back on the stages in the Columbia Valley, but this time they've decided to give the two-wheel drive class a go. Their attack on the first loop of stages ends the same way most of the Quebec teams does, with a DNF on stage 3 due to a blown turbo.
Right off the bat at the launch of this stage, no power at all, and then I wasn't able even to just make this turn. The turbo is failed and we don't have the part, so it's already over for the new toy.
Nick Wood and Jennifer Daly are always contenders for the two-wheel drive win, but they fall victim to the growing attrition on the mountain roads. After setting top 3 times on the first 2 stages, the engine lets go in the Datsun on stage 3, and they are out. This leaves Chris Greenhouse without his usual rivals, but he isn't setting the cruise control yet, staying right on the edge of control.
Continues over crest, then tightens half long into 4 left minus. That's your 4 left minus.
He and co-driver Ryan Scott set their sights on the overall standings and set a blistering pace, climbing to 4th overall by the end of the first loop. After 4 challenging stages, Dean leads by 37 seconds over Bailey. Djordjevic is only a second further behind in 3rd. Greenhouse holds 4th overall and the two-wheel drive lead. The teams return to service before facing another tough loop of stages at the Rocky Mountain Rally when we come back.
Welcome to your 20-minute high-intensity workout. Pick up the cadence, regulate your breathing. Get ready for a climb, let's go. Okay, push it on the flats. Pick a number and get after it. Recovery in 3, 2, 1. The all-new WRX.
We're back at the Rocky Mountain Rally, and the teams from the East are reeling from the attrition.
Oui, ça a été très difficile. Problème de pompe à gaz. Aussi, au premier stage, problème d'électronique. J'étais juste traction arrière. Fait que Dean et sa sœur sont venus m'aider. On a démarché la pompe à gaz. On a réussi à réparer ça puis repartir. Les routes sont quand même rough, mais j'avais des belles notes. Fait que je me suis pas fait laisser prendre nulle part. Puis beaucoup de poussière. Puis à part de tous ces problèmes-là, ça a bien été malgré tout. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'autres concurrents qui ont eu d'autres problèmes ou des DNF. Fait que je suis content de la situation quand même.
Yeah, tough rally. There's some events like that, you know, when everybody they have problems for different reasons. In our case, it's the engine, the blown engine. So there's no way to fix it. Yeah, that's part of the game. You know, if you cannot deal with that, you better stay home.
Yeah, it was a bit short morning. Started the first stage to get back into it, and we'll try to get the pace a bit up for the second stage, and then we start to have fuel pump issues. It's really warm, as you can see today, so maybe it's the problem, because I feel like many of the teams have actually fuel pump problems, so guys are fixing it, so we'll start back in Super Rally, I guess. And maybe we end up on the podium, we don't know.
I think it was fairly clean. First stage was a little bit iffy, but we had a few troubles in the car, but that worked out pretty quickly, and then we got in the rhythm. The road is not as rough as Recce, but still have to be cautious and kind of pick your line and choose where you want to go to try and avoid a flat. Just keeping her on the road, keeping her clean, that's the main goal. So.
It was unfortunate we were leading by some, 7-8 seconds there, and then
we had a problem with stuck behind that other competitor, and we lost 30 seconds, fell off the road, beneath dust, and recovered. But that's what happens in rally sometimes.
It's carnage. It's carnage. It's like I knew the roads were going to be rough, but a lot of electrical stuff, fuel pumps, overheating. It's like every time you turn around, there's another car on the side of the road. I mean, we're near the front of the pack, so we're not seeing a lot of triangles, but seeing multiple cars getting flat towed behind their tow rigs. It's a lot of racing to go, and still the carnage ain't done yet.
Car's got a little bit of handling issues just because we keep hitting rocks and bending stuff, because there's a lot of rocks and a lot of holes and a lot of things to bend your car on out there. The rough stage is taking a toll on the car, but we're hanging in there, doing very well. We're sitting 4th overall and leading two-wheel drive. Tough to be happier than that.
Repairs complete. The teams that survived the first loop of stages head back out to do it all again. Bailey and Peterson find themselves in the same battle for position with Djordjevic and Hall, with only a second separating the two.
Right 5 short in, 80. That's right 5 short in, 80.
Bailey gives up 2 seconds to Djordjevic on stage 5, slipping to 3rd, but then takes back 3 seconds on stage 6, moving back into 2nd place. Djordjevic doubles down, managing to carve 5 seconds out of Bailey on stage 7, retaking 2nd place.
Left 5 minus over small crest into cut right 4 plus long opens over flat crest into.
This is the kind of racing that rally fans live for. Graham Bruce always keeps it smart on the stages, and with attrition playing such a huge role, consistency is key. He and co-driver Patrick Levesque are up to 5th overall, but the dust is making this difficult for them. Just 6 seconds behind them are Eric Peyota and Christy Donaldson. The duo in the X-Rocket Rally STI are doing a great job of keeping the rest of the field honest. With clear air ahead, Tanvir and Nyla Dean are now extending their lead over Djordjevic and Bailey. They're on fire, winning every stage in the loop.
50. Caution right.
Even as his class lead grows to over 3 minutes, Chris Greenhouse doesn't lift his right foot off the throttle. When you're driving this hard, sometimes you find the limits the hard way.
Wow, are we getting lucky on that? No kidding. Holy balls. 6 left over 100, Titans 5 minus.
Yeah, perhaps a caution there.
Yep, I'm going to add it. Repeat this, Titans 5 minus, then Kinks 300.
Greenhouse and Scott get away with their error without losing time to Eric Bailey and Jordan Rock in the rear-wheel drive Scion. Finishing right behind them on stage 7 is the only team from Quebec that will see any success this weekend. Vincent Trudel and Michelle Miller will take home the win in the production all-wheel drive class. At the end of day 1 at Rocky Mountain Rally, the Deans are out to a 30-second lead over Djordjevic and Hall. Bailey and Peterson are only another 4 seconds back. Greenhouse and Scott have a tremendous lead in two-wheel drive, holding 4th overall. The day may be finished for the drivers, but the work is just beginning for the service crews as they thrash into the night to ready the cars for even more rally action in the morning. The Rocky Mountain Rally continues after the break. The dawn greets the teams of the Canadian Rally Championship as only a sunrise in the Rocky Mountains can, and the drivers are ready to hit the stages.
We're about to go on stage, so we're about to check in, put our gear on, and get out there and see how the road looks.
There's lots more rocks this year than the last one.
Our focus is the two-wheel drive. We have the lead, whole position.
You know, they got a little more power than us, so they'll probably get us on the way up, but down is all about bravery, and that's what I have, a shortness of brains, which equals bravery.
Let's get real here. You know, if it's a few seconds, it's one thing, but not 2 minutes. Yeah.
Being first on the road will give Tanvir and Nyla Dean clear air ahead of them. Combine that with 30 seconds in the bank over Djordjevic, and this team can focus on risk management. But before they can find the right balance of speed versus safety, they're forced to slam on the brakes when a moose decides to play pace car on the stage. Eventually, the Deans find an opening and put the hammer down to make up for lost time. Georgievich and Hall face no such obstacles, but have the hard-charging Bailey on their tail. The duo keep the pedal buried in the floorboards, adding another 1.8 seconds to their lead on stage 9. Despite a determined push, Bailey and Peterson get hampered by the dust, losing another handful of seconds to Georgievich on stage 10. Driving on the edge in these conditions can end in heartbreak, but it isn't slowing Bailey down. Bruce and Levesque are starting to carve time out of Greenhouse. By the end of the loop, the gap ahead to fourth is down to just 23 seconds, and Bruce continues to pick up the pace. Peyoda and Donaldson can't match Bruce's increased speed and fall further behind in sixth, the gap growing to over 90 seconds. This is in spite of a clean run up and down the infamous Hawk stage, the switchbacks proving to be especially challenging on the downhill run. Former two-wheel drive champions Wim Vanderpoel and Brian Lord may look like they've switched to all-wheel drive, but don't be fooled. They've converted this Subaru to rear-wheel drive so they can do battle in the two-wheel drive class. They're holding third in the class in their first run with this car. But they're a long way behind Eric Bailey and Jordan Rock in second place, who are putting on a show for the fans by hanging the tail of their FRS way out on the switchbacks.
A right 6 opens, and then this tightens 5 plus late into a left 5 plus extra short.
Fast and smooth, they've also got a long way to go to catch the car ahead. Greenhouse and Scott are in a class of their own. Their pace hasn't dropped off one iota, but their luck can't hold much longer.
4 right minus half long, keep in.
I think we got a puncture or something.
Yeah.
Let's take it easy.
Well, we still got 4K to go.
Okay.
Early 5 right long, tightens 5 minus. We may have just knocked the toe in on that side.
A brush with the cattle guard damages the rear suspension, and Greenhouse has to fight to get the car to the bottom of the mountain without bleeding time. Greenhouse manages to keep the time loss to a minimum, still holding the two-wheel drive lead in fourth overall. Dean maintains his lead over Georgievich, and Bailey rounds out the top 3 just a handful of seconds further back.
You know, we were pushing too hard. We should have known to pull back a little bit, but so we gave a little bit of time. You know, Tanvir's got a real great cushion now, but Boris is still within striking distance.
It's super fun. We really enjoy this very friendly competition. There are some mechanical inconsistencies on the way down that we are fixing right now, hopefully. For next run, I think is going to be better.
Yeah, going up, we encountered a moose for 5 corners, I would say, and probably lost a little bit of time there, but that's fine. We still had a decent time.
Just got offline a little bit there and put a little ding in the door. We hit a cattle guard. Almost missed it, but almost doesn't count, so that counts as hitting it.
It's never over till it's over. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people damaging their cars right now, so we got to keep it on the road.
Welcome to your 20-minute high-intensity workout. Pick up the cadence, regulate your breathing. Get ready for a climb, let's go. Okay, push it on the flats. Pick a number and get after it. Recovery in 3, 2, 1. The all-new WRX.
The final loop of stages is about to start at the Rocky Mountain Rally. The Canadian Rally Championship is presented by Subaru Canada. Chris Greenhouse has kept the afterburners lit from the first stage, and the result is a tremendous lead in the two-wheel drive class, not to mention holding 4th place overall for most of the rally. But one more close call gives Greenhouse and co-driver Ryan Scott a moment of pause.
It's my bad. Totally my bad. Okay, tightens a little. 3 left.
They avoid center punching a tree and maintain their class lead, but give up 4th place to Graham Bruce and Pat Levesque. Eric Bailey and Jordan Rock are too far behind Greenhouse to capitalize on their mistake, but they'll bring the car home in 2nd place in the 2-wheel drive class. Rounding out the 2-wheel drive podium, class champions Wim Vanderpoel and Brian Lord have got to be pleased with their first event in the new car. Having spent the morning playing it safe and bleeding time to Djordjevic, Jason Bailey and Shane Peterson decide that 3rd place isn't good enough and drop the hammer on the final stage. Unfortunately, the results aren't what they were hoping for.
I told you, don't be stupid.
They lose over 12 minutes digging the car out, dropping them from 3rd to 7th place. This is exactly the sort of drama Graham Bruce was prepared to capitalize on. He and co-driver Pat Levesque jump up to 3rd place overall. Boris Djordjevic and John Hall don't know that Bailey has gone off the road, so they keep the pedal to the metal the whole way down the Hawk stage, earning 2nd place for their efforts. But the class of the field this weekend was the team of Tanvir and Nyla Dean, who led the rally from stage 3. They drive fast and smooth through the final loop, taking the win in commanding fashion. The Deans top the podium, flanked by Djordjevic and Hall, and Bruce and Levesque. Greenhouse and Scott take their first win in Western Canada, back up to 4th overall. Alexander Moreau takes home 5 championship points by finishing the rally, holding a slim lead over Tanvir Dean. Besner's single point for starting the rally keeps him in the top 3.
Well, I had one job. That's all I had to do all weekend. Was not be dumb. Turns out
he did something stupid.
I'm dumb. We're here, we get some points, but no trophies with number 1s on it for us. Too stupid.
It was good. It was a good day. It was a good battle. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate other competitors that everybody's so friendly and so competitive at the same time. It's really rally experience.
Made it to the finish.
Yeah.
2 for 2 now, I guess. So the goal for the weekend was just to finish and have fun. That's always number 1. We achieved that goal, I think. Taking it easy at the beginning and managing the tires, managing the car. I think that really paid off. Nyla here did an awesome job in the right seat. The crew did an awesome job taking care of the car. I can't thank them enough.
But yeah, it was a great event, and we really love coming out here.
Yes, we did it. We went from disaster last year at Rocky Mountain Rally to victory here. But yeah, a lot of stages, a lot of rough hits, a lot of beating up on the car, and we managed to survive it. It's like a dream. I needed the redemption, and we got it this weekend here at Rocky Mountain Rally.
Although they're basking in the glow of the finish of the Rocky Mountain Rally, there's no rest for the teams of the Canadian Rally Championship. In just 4 weeks, they will meet to face off on the opposite side of the country. The shores of the Atlantic Ocean will play host to one of the biggest rallies in North America, the legendary Rally Baie des Chaleurs. We'll see you then.